What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another 2AR MR2 progress video thing. It has been quite a while since the last time I uploaded one of these, but absolute metric fuck ton of work has been done. I have a wiring video I still need to make and a few other videos, but I just wanted to kind of upload like a general progress update thing. So both I have two harnesses for each bulkhead. One's the engine harness, one's the transmission side harness. All those are done. I just need to kind of hook it up. I also need to do the trunk wiring. That's gonna be like probably the last step. But yeah, I'm trying to think on what's been done since the last time I made one of these. I think the last time I made a video was like the motor was in or something. So since then, I got a fuel tank and everything back in. The fuel tank got all new seals, so the evap stuff will probably work. I am starting to mock up the charcoal canister up front. I removed a heater core line, the driver's side heater core line. I'll show you again in the back. And I placed in two aluminum hard lines. One is going to be for the, actually I replaced it with three. One of them is a purge solenoid line for the charcoal canister, because the charcoal canister is going to sit up front. So one of these is a purge line, the other one is a breather for the tank. This is the breather for the tank on the TC. It's a much larger hose, so I have to like adapt that. I really hope that's not going to have any issues or give me any issues. I don't think it will, but yeah. The third hard line was for my radiator bleed. I'll talk about my expansion tank setup in a second, but it's just going to go this little nipple here, and I'll plug this up with a plug or something. And the third hard line doesn't come through here. It goes down right here and it goes under the car. Actually, I could probably just show you. It's where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Come on. Right there. So that'll connect to the radiator, and that line comes up right here, and it goes to the expansion tank. So I'm converting this system to an expansion tank system. This is a Chevy Cruze tank. I had made a little bracket for and adapted the stock bracket, so it sits in here pretty good. And then the feed now is basically, so on the water pump housing, there was a core plug right there, which actually tees into the heater return circuit. This pipe right here. So this whole section now sees full suction at all times from the water pump. So this is a pretty good candidate for a an expansion tank setup. I don't have the header in right now, but everything fits with the header. But yeah, so the expansion tank stuff wasn't my idea. Alex Wilhelm at Wilhelm Raceworks originally came up with the expansion tank idea, and then some R152A enthusiasts on the forums started or brought up the Chevy Cruze idea, this tank idea. So I kind of merged both, I guess. And then the core plug idea and all that was also the 152A's plan. But I do like, I mean, for those who are thinking about doing a 2AR swap, I wouldn't really recommend going this way, because this is just like kind of needless work. Alex Wilhelm, like I mentioned, he has a tank that sits on that side, and you can easily tee into the heater core over there. So that's just gonna be a way more bolt-on solution. I couldn't really get his tank because I have like no mounting provisions over there anymore because of the engine bay shape. So I did what I could over here. I have one hole here and one hole down there that I had left, thank God, and it sits in pretty good. I mean, it's kind of shaking the car when I do that, and with the hose on there and stuff and the water inside, it should hold pretty nicely. But another reason why I wanted to have it on the passenger side is because I wanted to kind of keep it with the tucked look. Let me fish it in here. Yeah, once the side panel's on, I mean, you can't even really see it. I mean, you can only really see it if you're looking for it. But, you know, if you're kind of like at the car and you're just looking at it like from here, I mean, you know, you can't really see anything. So that's really nice. I guess it is a bit of a downside now that I have to take this panel off to fill the coolant, but I don't really intend on filling up coolant all that much. So, yeah. As far as, so the heater core thing, so basically the idea for that was, I believe it's replicating how the NSXs are routed up. So basically, instead of having 2 heater core lines here that come through, this is the passenger one, and you have the driver's side that comes up right here. So instead of pulling a feed line off of the motor here, I'm pulling a feed line off of the front radiator pipe here, right here. And so basically, it gets hot coolant from this. This is the hot pipe for the radiator. Then the hot coolant goes in through here, then it goes back. So instead of pulling hot coolant off the engine, I'm pulling hot coolant off here. But I still need to have the system see like normal suction and stuff at all times. So that's why I left in 1 passenger line, and then so that line will, it comes back up here, and then it'll just go into this tube. I have the hose right here. I still need to cut it and stuff, but you can kind of see the U shape, and then I'll cut that up. And I also have the hose for the hot side pipe. I will release all these part numbers, all these hoses, like everything I'm using, on like a big forum post somewhere. I'm not going to release them now because I want to make sure that everything works. I'll go over my AC system solution and also the water neck and all that stuff in a second here. But I'll just have a U-pipe, and that'll be it. And all I have to do is just cap this line, and the heater should work pretty much as OEM or as normal. It might take a little bit longer to get heat, like honestly, it's probably like a few seconds or even like a minute at most. Just mainly because you have to wait for that whole hardline to see hot coolant or whatever. But by the time that hardline sees hot coolant, it sees it at the same time as this. So I don't know, it's not gonna be too big of a thing. But yeah, that was just another hose I wanted to eliminate. You can see this is the purge line for one of the hard lines up front. That'll just run into this evap solenoid right here. And then I have, the hose that goes to the plenum, all that. And then the breather right here. So it just comes up here, goes in the breather, and then it goes up to the front. It is a bit lengthy, I guess, because it has to come back here, go into the little dumpling, then come out, go back to the front, and then go back. But I don't know, the way the stock TC setup is that you have the engine up front and all that stuff, and you have the fuel tank and the evap stuff back here. So it has to kind of run back and forth on the TC anyways. So it's kind of like a reversed setup. I also have the air box in. Funnily enough, I don't know. The TC has a cold air feed, like a tube that runs to the fender. Imagine this is in the front of the car, and you have this little tube that goes to the fender. It is fucking crazy, but it lines up straight into the MR2 vent. It's like, I don't know how. Excuse the cloth. I put the cloth to protect the paint, but like you can see that it's gonna pull cold air straight from the vent. So it's like, I don't know. It's freaking crazy. I mean, cold air intakes might not really be useful with this. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure how much like flow restriction all this has. But it's going to be probably pretty hard to beat that. So, I don't know. I'm not an aerologist or anything, but yeah. I have the fuel system hooked up. It's kind of tucked away behind the intake elbow, which is kind of nice. So, yeah. Like I said, I haven't done the wiring. I haven't laid the wiring harness in yet. So yeah, let me talk about the AC system and coolant stuff. Like I said, this video is just going to be kind of like a brief overview. I'll make videos covering everything in detail and all that. Get my hood on. So this is my solution I have found after hours and hours of scouring Rock Auto and shit. So this is the 1GR compressor off of the FJ Cruiser. This is the same one that you'd use with the 2GR swaps. Luckily, the bolt pattern for the AC compressor just bolts up to the stock 2AR bracket. Although the issue with the 2AR now is that the compressor sits much closer to the firewall than the 2GR does now. So I had to find new AC hoses and the new coolant hoses and everything. But as you can see, it fits pretty damn well. Both of these AC lines are off different vehicles that I will release part numbers to, like I said, but I want to make sure they work first. So I have new AC fittings coming in because I need to chop these ends off and then get them crimped on. So basically, this is the high side, Actually, we'll talk about the low side. You know, the low side will just do like one of these, and you'll have a 180 that goes into this chassis fitting. And then the low side or high side here will either, I'm not sure if it'll cross right here, but it'll just go like a 90 and just go straight into there. So that's all taken care of, or at least theoretically. The water neck, I don't know if I don't have the 2AR one here, but 2AR water neck stuck out very far, and it would contact like the heat shield and stuff. So I had to find a different water neck. That water neck's off of a different vehicle, and this coolant hose is also off a different vehicle. This hose will need trimming. Same with this hose right here. Like I said, I'll go into detail about that later. But yeah, so this hose, I probably need to trim it a bit right there as well. But I don't have it fully on right now, but I did the other day. So now this one's kind of a tricky one to get in. So yeah, so AC's figured out. Coolant system's figured out. I still need to kind of put the heat shields on. I'm pretty sure that hose will fit. I should probably check that. Although I think the heat shield ends around this circle, so I should be fine. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, I've done a shit ton, so I mean, I'm still using the S54 stuff. You don't have to shave anything off the engine. Bolting the S54 to the 2AR is the same as the 2GR, basically. I don't know. A lot of stuff from the 2GR kind of carries over. So, yeah. Let me get back up here. As far as the exhaust, I haven't mentioned the exhaust yet. So, I have obviously, going for the bar process, I have to use the stock manifold stuff. So you can see it in there. I won't put it on here, but the stock cat and all that, it bolts on, it fits. You need to shave, at least with the S54, you need to shave part of the transmission side little mount thing. But other than that, that's the mid pipe there for the TC. So the mid pipe for the TC, that just bolts on. It just like everything just fits. It jumps over the cross member, and it ends right at like kind of like where this plane is with the firewall, and the flange just ends right there. It's kind of like I believe the stock 5S setup is like that as well. It ends right there, so it's kind of freaky how well it ends. Actually, let me just go under. Like the pipe, the tube for the TC mid pipe, it just ends right here, and it's kind of angled. And so basically all you have to do is you just add a 90, and you could feed it right into the 5S muffler or something, and then you'd be set for exhaust. That will probably be on the next video, but yeah, it's kind of freaky how well this stuff has been lining up. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. I still need to put the belt on. I had the AC compressor going on and off for the AC line stuff. I want to redo this feed line already, this hard line, but I can't be bothered to do that right now. I'm kind of on a time crunch here, so. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I gotta maybe put the charcoal canister in. It's probably gonna be going like this, or maybe like this. It will probably go in like this. This feels like the mounting position is a little bit better. I was told by a couple Toyota techs that these things are orientation sensitive, so you can't really you can't mount it like this or like this or whatever. It has to be like this. This is how it is in the Silent TC. Or actually, I think it sits like this. But as long as it's kind of, level in this way, then it should be okay. So I'll probably go like this, and I can pick up off that. I don't even know if you can see that. There's a little stud right there. So I just have to modify these little mounts, and then maybe make a mount down there. I'm not really sure yet. I wonder if I could connect one. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I'm trying to think what else has been done. I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of other stuff, but yeah, I just figured I would just upload a general video. I have a video of the wiring. I'll be talking about just my concentric car and stuff. I kind of want to make a time-lapse narration kind of video. So yeah, I mean, I put this shit back on, I think. I don't think this was on the last video, but I put the drivetrain stuff back on. Everything's torqued and ready to go. I think I need to do like a brake line or the e-brake stuff. Interior's obviously kind of torn apart, but I need to take my tach and deconvert it from the V6 resistance. So that's kind of annoying. But you know, I don't really have to take much apart. I still have to run the wiring for the charcoal canister. Because these things have a vacuum pump and sensors and all that now, you have to run a little wiring. So I have to run a little wiring from here down the side. I'll most likely, well, I will be going pretty much the same way my drive-by-wire stuff, my body harness is going to go. It's going to go under here, up, and then through the vent, and then just into the trunk. That's how I did the body harness stuff. You can kind of see it, yeah, poking through there. So, yeah. Oh, I switched to a TC gas cap. I have no idea if this is gonna work. I'm not sure. The BGB for the MR2 gas cap, which I don't have right now, but the BGB says that the normal operation for the MR2 gas cap is that it opens on high vacuum. This seems like it might open on high vacuum as well, but the issue with the high vacuum thing is that the overnight test, the evap canister actually runs an overnight test. I think it's like 6 hours after the engine's been off. It turns on the vacuum pump and it actually pulls vacuum on your entire fuel system, and that way it can test for leaks and all that to see if you have an evap leak. So I switched to the TC gas cap just in case there's some modern gas cap difference or something. I originally thought that there was, but after pulling vacuum on the system and hearing this kind of thing open and start breathing, I don't think that actually might be a thing, but I will test the MR2 gas cap and this gas cap as well. Also, this one just kind of feels nicer, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I mean, how long has this video been? 17 minutes? Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I'd probably just wrap it up here. I guess one issue with the stock manifold and this firewall heat shield, like the big one, I don't think you can fit the stock header heat shield thing. This one. This thingy. It does not seem like those two mix, unfortunately, so I would probably just be running just the firewall for a while, and then I'll probably have to make a custom firewall heat shield if I want to run the stock header heat shield, or I modified the stock header heat shield. I'm not really sure. I hope that's not really gonna be an issue for bar. I don't think it will be, but we'll find out probably. Yeah, I still need to do like basic things. I need to put oil in this, oil in the transmission, things like that, but those are all easy peasy. So yeah, I'm still blown away by this fucking cold air feed thing. This thing's nuts, and it fits like right by like the fuel neck breather thing, so I can probably just zip tie it or something. I don't really feel like welding on that. But yeah, so I guess the next video, like I said, it'll be just like wiring stuff, and then after this is kind of all been running and kind of confirmed everything's working, I'll kind of go through each subsystem of the car and explain what I did for that, and what parts I used, and what modifications you need to do if there are some. But yeah, I can't wait till I get to share all that info, because I feel like the 2AR SW20 stuff is a bit kind of a mystical cloud of random shit that nobody really talks about. So it'd be kind of nice to consolidate everything and get a huge shopping list going. But yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next one. All right. Bye-bye.